So as the inaugural Chief Executive and also Company Secretary and Executive Director of Water Quality Research Australia, the board put significant faith in me to take what was a very successful CRC in water quality and treatment that was led by Professor Don Bursell into the new paradigm and into a new regime of what we were trying to do. And for me it was a very privileged position. I was new coming into the water industry, and one of the things for me that was absolutely key to the success of WQRA was the members' involvement, both with me personally but also with the formation of the company. The WQRA model at the time was very innovative, and it really was the first of its kind. It was one of the first CRCs that translated from the CRC federally funded model into a model that was membership based and that was supported by its industry. And so one of the things that we needed to do was firstly look at how do we form the team of WQRA. I was employee number one. I had some terrific board members that helped me out, in particular John Howard and Chris Davies, into how do we form this company? What were the skill sets that we needed? How do we need to engage with our constituents, our members, our industry, but also with policymakers over in government? So one of the things that we looked at was what were we looking for in a person that would come to WQRA. So we're very lucky in the respect that we had staff members that had previously worked for the CRC that were willing to take that leap of faith with me. And given that I was a new chief executive and they didn't know me at all, I believe that that was a really instrumental step in the success of WQRA in its startup year. So we were based out at Bolivar and then moved in that year to the centre of Adelaide into SA Waterhouse as well, and those staff moved with me. And then what we did was we tried to build up the team, looking for those key skills across Australia that would make success. And we were very fortunate that the people that we got on board were the people that really did make that difference to both our members, our industry, and also the quality of research that we were able to achieve in a very short space of time. So the next challenge that we also had was how do we have a funding model where it was membership based and not federally funded. We had members that were able to give a 12-month notification period as opposed to a federal government that gave a 7-year notification period. We also had, a tenth of the funding. How do we make a difference to an industry? Part of that was looking at what were the needs of the members. To do that, we did lots of flying, lots of engagement, and lots of stakeholder conversations. We held many workshops and also many meetings to start to understand what was keeping chief executives of the water industry awake at night, what were the policy makers needing to make informed policy decisions, but also what skills, expertise and capability did our world-leading researchers bring to bear on the research that we could undertake. By bringing all of those people together, we were able to form a company that had the 12-month longevity, and from that platform, we took WQRA ahead. Our next challenge in that first 12 months was designing the WQRA strategic direction, and that was about having a look at how we would set the research program as we moved forward. We needed quick wins on the board to show our members that there wasn't a break in what we were adding in terms of value to our community, both at the industry level and the wider community. Our focus was very much following on from what the CRC had done in terms of public health focus, and we divided that into two areas. One was pathogens and one was chemicals. It was a highly collaborative, very democratic way that we selected what research was going forward. We had quite a complicated voting system, and many people who were involved at that time would remember the voting system and how we carried it out. But it really made sure that people had a say in how their funds were being spent and what research was being undertaken, but also the way we were undertaking research. What was absolutely critical with WQRA was the involvement of the members from the get-go in the research project. It was about having industry play a part, or policymakers really starting to inform what that research project looked like. They were involved all the way through, so it wasn't just a start at the beginning, do a project, and then say, here is our report. It was about being able to be flexible, to be agile, to adapt the project to what the needs of the industry were. I really loved working with Michael. We had a lot of great adventures together, and definitely for that first 12 months it was very much around bringing his knowledge of the research environment together, his experience as an academic, together with my corporate knowledge. But I was really excited when we got to travel together to the World Water Congress, which was in Vienna. And so we did a lot of planning while we were there. And again, it was that opportunity to work on the vision that we both shared and that we both looked to taking forward. And his passion, his enthusiasm, his phone calls at about 10 o'clock on Saturday night, that's what made it work. I had someone who I could work with, who would bounce off my passion, my commitment, and I knew that I'd get it back many times over. It was an absolute privilege to work with him as the first chair. I think WQRA's biggest success was its ability to be flexible and to adjust. You know, when Michael and I sat there and had to think about what we were looking for, we'd hoped that we would get 5, maybe 6 years out of WQRA. What's shown the success of now Water Research Australia is its ability to engage with its members, to adapt to the political environment in which it works, its national and international environment, who it's starting to engage with, and also the projects and the ability to morph into something that is required for the greater community. After 10 years of vital operation and under the guidance of 4 CEOs and changing board members, it for me as an inaugural CEO is absolutely heartening to see where Water Research Australia has landed. You know, I see that we will have another 10 years of research that is impactful, has value and is member supported. As the member for Flinders University now, I see that it is an organisation that not only have I been proud to lead in the past, but I'm also very proud to belong to now.